Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? On this fine Sunday afternoon towards the end of February. I am good. I am well. I am all Elvised up. Just been to see the new Baz Luhrmann Elvis Presley in concert film. It's absolutely class. Me and Ben loved it. It's just the beginning of my thank you for packing Antoine Semenyo in, or for buying me the box that contained Antoine Semenyo in my EFL series. But few of you have asked for it. I'm true to my word. It's unscripted. We're going to talk about National Hunt Racing. We're going to talk about Cheltenham, and we're going to go through every single race at the Cheltenham Festival. We're going to start on Tuesday, the 10th of March, 2026. We're going to go for all 7 races on the card. I'm going to try and not ramble too much. This video is not sponsored by William Hill, by the way, and nor am I an Elvis. Well, I am an Elvis fanboy, but yeah. I'm just back from that, so I thought I'd spend my afternoon recording this and giving you some heads up. I will try and do my best to edit the odds for each race on screen before I talk about them. But I am just an amateur. I do not have an editor. I just have me and my humble self in my gaff. So yeah, of course, I am wearing a flat festival cap for a National Hunt Racing tips video. I must point out that my tips are not guaranteed to give you any winners. In fact, they'll probably give you no winners whatsoever. I'm just giving you my opinion and thoughts on each race and from what I know from my tiny little head. As some of you may know, though, I am in a couple of micro syndicates. This is one of my hobbies. I am big on racing, and yeah, I just love a good day out, love a bit of Guinness, and love watching horses run around the field. So Tuesday, 26th of March, we'll start 120, the Sky Bet Supreme Novices Hurdle, Grade 1, over 2 miles and a third furlong. I'll bring the odds up now on screen. We've got Old Park Star, short price favourite at 15-8. Talk 4-1. El Cairo's 5-1. Mighty Park 15-2. Ballyfad 10-1. Leader de Allier 10-1. My Daddy Paddy at 10-1. Sober Glory 11-1. Ido Sun 12-1. And 14-1 Bar. King Rasco Ray Gray and above. But yeah, Supreme. First race at Cheltenham Festival. Get the massive roar. Old Park Star 15-8. Let's not mess about here. He's 15-8 for a reason. I will be backing him. I will be backing him personally. I think, yeah, from what we've seen, the Irish look like, I don't think we've seen the best of the Irish yet, but Old Park Star, he looks the business. He really does. What he's done at Newbury and what he's done in a couple of other races is, yeah, he's destroyed the field without even getting off the bit, really. And he would be my pick at 15-8. I'm going to be very boring and just go for the favourite in this one. I'm sorry, but I'm not saying he's going to win, but I think he's I still think he's a pretty good price at 15-8. So I will be taking that. A couple of shout outs. There's a couple of Irish runners I like in here. The one at a big price I like who ran really well. I do prefer the flat over the jumps. I'm just getting that out there. But he ran an absolute cracker at the Royal Ascot Festival last year, and he won the 2 mile 5 handicap race. Big long flat race at Royal Ascot. I think it's the Queen something or other, but sober at 20-1. He'd be my each way pick. So yeah, Old Park Star 15-8. My pick. My each way shout would be sober at 20-1. But do not be surprised to see my Daddy Paddy run a big race, and also shout out to Sober Glory as well. He looks like a solid horse, and Harry Cobden gave him a good ride the other week. And I was just a bit put off by his race before that because it didn't seem like he ran his race, and yeah, I'm not so sure, but yeah, Old Park Star would be my pick, and sober each way at 20-1. Yeah, but there are some horses at bigger prices that if they do start getting backed on the day and they do run and they do turn up, I'd be keen to take a look at and that includes the Reverend, Wind Beneath My Wings, and Sortudo. I'm not going to pick every horse in the race though. So my two for this one: Old Park Star, It's Boring, the favourite, and then Sober. So 15 to 8 Old Park Star and 20 to 1 for Sober each way would be my two picks for the Supreme Novices Hurdle. Next one we're going to talk about. We go to 2 p.m. now. The Singer Arkle Challenge Trophy Steeplechase, Grade 1, about 2 miles. We love an Arkle. And we know from the past that you've got to stay to win an Arkle. Last year's winner, Django Bay, is now basically running over 3 miles. So horses that win this typically do have a lot of stamina. But we'll bring the odds up on screen now. The Arkle Chase, 2 p.m, Tuesday the 10th of March. Lulamba is 5 to 4. Kopek de Board at 9 to 4. Romeo Coolio at 3 to 1. Cargeese at 9 to 2. Irish Panther at 12 to 1. And 14 to 1 Bar. Just because I can't pronounce that the horse is 14 to 1. The Steel Ally is 14 to 1 as well, but the other one I've got no idea how you pronounce that. Kappa G Pike or something like that. But yeah, this one's easy. This one is easy. I think Lulamba is going to be a class horse. I think he is. But would I be taking 5 to 4 about Lulamba now, when we don't know how good that English form is up against the Irish? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Kopek de Board looked much better over fences than he did over hurdles. Although I must admit, he is last year's Supreme winner, so he clearly does have ability. But I think Romeo Coolio at 3 to 1. He's unbeaten this season over fences. He looks a natural jumper. He looks like he wants a fence. So does Kopek de Board, by the way. He looks much better over fences than he did over hurdles. Whereas Romeo Coolio looked like he wanted a fence and wasn't as good over hurdles. Romeo Coolio definitely wants a fence. And what Romeo Coolio does have over the rest of these is stamina. And you need stamina to win an Arkle. So 3 to 1, solid pick. Gordon Elliott. You know Jack Kennedy's going to ride him quietly. You know he's going to wait for them to come round that home turn. And you know he will be staying on at the Cheltenham Hill. So 3 to 1 about Romeo Coolio. I will be having that. My each way play in this race is an absolute massive price. If he turns up, back him each way, because I've been very impressed with him this season and I've won on him a couple of times. But at 33 to 1, Ben Paulin, Ben Jones, Lou Vega, Mambo number 5 at 33 to 1 is my each way pick. So my two selections for the Arkle: Romeo Coolio at 3 to 1 and Mambo number 5 each way at 33 to 1. Those are my two picks for the Arkle. So yeah, best of luck with that, and I must remind you, I'll do my best to point you in the right direction, but these are just my opinions in all directions, and as I go hard Struber on you guys. But yeah, no, those are my two picks for the Arkle. But yeah, best of luck. Moving swiftly on, 2:40 p.m. McCoy's Contractors Juvenile Handicap Hurdle Race, also known as the Fred Winter, over 2 miles and half a furlong. Not gonna lie, Fred Winter is, it's normally utter carnage. Like trying to pick any horse and trying to pick the winner in this race is an absolute nightmare. Yeah. But I'm gonna do my best to find you an angle in this. What I will say for this race is find the trends. Find the winning weights that normally win, and find how many runs that they've had in the season, and just study trends on this one, because that's how you normally can find the winner in this race. I think I got the winner in last year in this race. It was a JP McManus horse. It was incredibly well handicapped. It absolutely hosed up. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but I will remind myself later on and we'll find out. But yeah, I'm going to go for the odds now. We got Winston Jr. 9 to 2 favourite. We got Saratoga at 5 to 1. We got Manlanga at 7 to 1. Selma de Veri at 8 to 1. Ames at 10 to 1, Highland Crystal at 10 to 1, Madness there, don't you say that, 10 to 1, Munsif at 10 to 1, Dignam at 12 to 1, Lulina Artista at 12 to 1, Meiji Blush 12 to 1, Glen to Glen at 14 to 1, and Manganese at 14 to 1, Mons 2 at 14 to 1. There's so many at 14 to 1, so I might as well just head 14 to 1 bar at this point. But yeah, 14 to 1 bar. But yeah, you could scroll down the list and go as far as you want. Yeah. Normally, you want something around the sort of 10 to 1 price in this race. That's what I normally say. Never back the favourite in the Fred Winter. Never back the favourite. And I normally, yeah, I would be keen on a green and gold horse. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick two I like. One of them at 10 to 1, who ran a cracking race at Newbury, and it looks like a very good filly, is Highland Crystal, owned by Jigginstown, owned by Mr. Ryanair. She looks like she could be a very good horse, and she's probably going to be pretty high up in the weights in this. I don't think I've seen the weights listed yet for this, and I don't know how she'll stack up against the trends. But yeah, Highland Crystal each way, 10 to 1 would be my pick. Another horse I like the look of, down in 14 to 1, is Mustang de Brielle. I think owned by JP McManus, but I will double check. But yeah, any sort of green and gold well handicapped horse in the Fred Winter that looks like it's a bit of a market mover, yeah, I'd recommend just keeping an eye on that sort of thing. But yeah, my two picks for this race, both each way, both not actually crazy picks at this stage because we need to see the weights and I need to check the trends. But sort of, yeah, what are we, 2 weeks out now? My two picks for this race are Highland Crystal each way at 10 to 1 and Mustang de Brielle at 14 to 1. But yeah, that is race 3 of the day on Tuesday the 10th of March at the Cheltenham Festival, the McCoy Contractors Juvenile Handicap Hurdle. Moving on to 320, a bit more up my street this, the Ultima. So the Trustmark Ultima Handicap Chase over 3 miles and 1 furlong. I'll bring the prices up screen now. We've got quite a considering how many horses will run in this race. Jaguar at 9 to 2, it's quite a short price. Martown at 10 to 1, last year's winner. Wendigo at 10 to 1, Handstands at 12 to 1, King of Answers at 12 to 1, Look Away at 12 to 1, Quebecois at 12 to 1, Back Me or Sack Me at 14 to 1, Aroka at 14 to 1, who looks like he might be pretty well handicapped for the Grand National again. Johnny Who at 14 to 1, Montregard at 14 to 1, and 16 to 1 bar. Yeah, the Ultima. I had the winner in this last year as well. We got last year's winner, Martown, coming back for a second bite of the cherry at 10 to 1. He could, but he's ran poorly. He's ran badly over his past 2 efforts, and he fell at Newbury in the big race at Newbury. Just before, I think at the end of November, I forget the name of it, but yeah, I definitely will not be taking Jaguar at 9 to 2. I know he's a JP McManus horse. I know he's potentially very well handicapped. And I know he's one of those ones that's, gets a quiet ride and looks like he's being prepped for something. But at 9 to 2 in the Ultimate, I can't be taking him at that price. I can't. The two I sort of like, one of them is slight bias because it's a syndicate horse. And it's a horse that's an incredible stayer and has run very well so far this season. And that is Wendigo at 10 to 1. He would be my pick for this race. So that one is going on the chaps list. Wendigo at 10 to 1 in the Ultima. If he turns up, he's definitely a free mar. He's definitely a stayer. So I'm sure he's being. I mean, he's going to be aimed at this race, and he could go elsewhere. He could go elsewhere. He could go to a different race. But yeah, Wendigo if he turns up 10 to 1, I'll be taking that each way. The other one I like, who's in the 16 to 1 bar, so a bit of a bigger price in this, is another Jigginstown horse, and one who looked like he had lots of ability last season. He ran incredibly well with the DRF last season, not January just gone, but or not the DRF just gone, it's sort of January February overlap, isn't it? But so 2025 DRF. And that's Croke Park. who is a horse, I think, with a lot of ability, and is conveniently named after Croke Park in Dublin, the big ground there. But I think he's got a lot of ability, and I think if he turns up, he might be a bit high in the weights. Again, I haven't seen the weights for this yet, so I'll always double check the weights, and always, yeah, consider the weights when placing any bet. Especially I'd wait until they come out before you do any anti-post bets, unless you really strongly fancy it, or him or her. But yeah, Croke Park, I think he's got a lot of ability. I think he could go well here if he turns up. And at 16-1, I think that's a big price. So yeah, Wendigo 10-1, Croke Park 16-1. Both each ways, but I'm probably heavier on Wendigo than I am Croke Park. But both will be my picks at this stage for the Ultima. Moving on to the big one, Champion Hurdle. At 4 o'clock on Tuesday the 10th of March, the Unibet Champion Hurdle, Grade 1, over 2 miles and about half a furlong. We've got Brighter Days Ahead, or we've got 3 at the top of the market, should I say. Brighter Days Ahead at 5-2, Constitution Hill at 5-2, The New Lion at 5-2, Lossiemouth at 10-3, Golden Ace Lashes win at 6-1, Poneros at 12-1, Ballyburn at 14-1, Alexi at 20-1, and 20-1 Bar. But I thought I'd give Alexi a shout out because I think he's got a massive hike up in the weights this year, and he's improved. He's a massively improving horse. But yeah, this Champion Hurdle, yeah, it's if I'd have recorded this before Constitution's run at Southwell on Friday night, I think my segment on this would have been a lot shorter. But because Constitution Hill ran a cracker at Southwell on Friday, it's going to be a bit of a bigger one in terms of conversation. Because this horse is done to death, and some of you guys will be watching so many Cheltenham previews, and this horse is just going to be talked about constantly. He should be called Constantly Hill, not Constitution Hill, because the amount of times he gets, he gets all the limelight, and for good reasons. Michael Buckley is a fantastic owner, and Nicky Henderson's a wonderful trainer, and Nico's a great guy as well, and everyone loves the horse. But you cannot, in my opinion, I can't go near him. I can't. He might not even turn up. He's getting 5-2 now because he won easily at Southwell on Friday night. But let me remind you, that was on the flat, and you've got to be able to jump in these races. It's a very simple concept. It's a very simple thing for me to say, but what you've got to remember, he's fallen 3 times out of the last 5 runs, and he was sketchy before that in a couple of his races. So I can't go near him. Not at 5-2. He might not even turn up. So I will be swerving Constitution Hill. If he does turn up and he wins, then you know what? Sorry about my hat here. Fair play, Nicky Henderson. You are a god. He's a god anyway for what he did with Sprinter Sacra and all his other greats from back in the day. But yeah, I cannot be having Constitution Hill at 5-2. It's no, not for me. My pick for this race, and I'm thinking about the ground. I'm thinking about Cheltenham. I'm thinking about who goes well at Cheltenham, and I will be siding with the Skelton Runner and the Green and Gold. My pick for this race is the New Lion at 5-2. Brighter Days Ahead, if she turns up and runs her race, she has a chance, obviously. She is 5-2, but her record at Cheltenham is not great. She blew up last year with a pacemaker, and she didn't win the year before, and she's been beaten by Golden Ace twice. So if I can't be having Brighter Days Ahead at 5-2, I certainly won't be having Constitution Hill at 5-2. So my pick for this race is the New Lion at 5-2. My other pick for this race, and we know he goes well at Cheltenham. I was there last year. I backed the Gredley family runner, who's trained by James Owen. I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it was a triumph last year. He was my banker of the festival, and he got beat by 150-1 shot, owned by Tony Bloom. So I will be having an each way on Poneros in this race as well. But my two picks for this race are the New Lion at 5-2 and Poneros each way at 12-1. That is my picks for the 2026 Champion Hurdle. Moving on to 440. I love a handicap, and this is one of my favourite handicaps of the festival. It is the Sun Racing Plate, a handicap steeplechase over 2 miles and about 4 furlongs. This is prime prep race target trainer material. I've got to say, this is something. I'll be bringing the odds up on screen now. Madara is favourite at 5-1, Jaguar at 7-1, McClory at 8-1, Waterford Whispers at 8-1, Vincenzo at 10-1, Dan Memory Lane 12-1, Slade Steel 12-1, Jacob's Ladder 14-1, Lookaway 14-1, No Questions Asked 14-1, Twin Jets 14-1, and 16-1 Bar. Sorry for going really quick. Doing my best Jerry Hannon impression now. Yeah. My pick for this race. I'm thinking. This is a very competitive. This will be a very competitive handicap. All handicaps are, but this one particularly, because you've got so many horses in this race that with so many different angles, and some of these lot have beaten each other, and you just don't know. It's going to be, as with any handicap, it's going to be about who's best prep for the race on the day. And my pick for this race is a 14-1 shot. And he's trained by one of my favourite trainers this side of the Irish Sea. And that is No Questions Asked of Ben Paulin at 14-1. I think he won a big race at Newbury the other day. And I think he could go well in this. He's probably going to be pretty high in the weights. Again, I haven't checked the weights yet. I don't think they're out yet. So I can't tell you what his weight is off the top of my head. But at 14-1, I think he's a good price at this point. Mambo number 5 is 16-1 in this as well. So if he does turn up, then please consider Mambo number 5. But I think they've said Mambo number 5 will be going to the Arkle, and they will be having a crack at that with him because they think he could potentially be good enough to run into a place. So yeah, my pick for this race at 14-1 each way will be No Questions Asked. But there is another horse I like at a big price, and I think he is. He's been running, he's got a lot of ability. He's rated, I checked his rating last night, he's rated 151. So again, I don't know what his weight, I don't know whether he's going to get in. I don't know whether he's going to turn up. But at 33-1, and a horse trained by Dan Skelton, so not the favourite, Madara, who's also trained by Dan Skelton. 33-1 is Boom Born, who's been... If you go down his record race this season, he's not done anything. He's done absolutely nothing. But I think he's a horse with a lot of ability based on what he's done previously. So it would not surprise me if Skelton's eyeing him up for something. And it could be this race. But he's got to get in and he's got to turn up. And if he turns up at 30, I doubt he's going to be 33-1 on the day. He'd probably be a bit shorter. But yeah, one I like at a massive price, Boom Born at 33-1. So my two picks for the plate. No Questions Asked each way at 14-1, and a bigger price each way, Boom Born 33-1. Moving on to the final race of Tuesday. It's a National Hunt Steeplechase Challenge Cup Novices Handicap Steeplechase over about 3 miles and 6 furlongs. This is a chunky number. It's an absolute test of grinding stamina. I'm going to bring the odds up on screen now. For the National Hunt Chase, Back Me or Sack Me is at 7-1 favourite. Newton Tornado also 7-1 joint favourite of Back Me or Sack Me. Joystick at 8-1. Wade at 8-1. Argento Boy at 10-1. Brave Fortune at 12-1. Grand Jess at 12-1. Holloway Queen at 12-1. One Big Bang 12-1. Jukebox Kid at 12-1. And 14-1 Bar. This is a tricky race. Always tricky to call. It's, I think, don't question, I might be wrong with this, but it's the one that's the amateur jockeys have the ride in. So you've got to think about the amateur jockey and who might be picking up the ride. Because normally, yeah, in races like this, I'm not saying, I mean, racing is normally 80% horse, 20% jockey or something like that. That's what I've heard. But you've always got to consider who's on board and who's riding the horse. This one is tricky because there are a few I like in this. I think Weighed Out is a good price, 8-1. Would I be taking that? I'm not so sure. Joystick over from Ireland, trained by Willie Mullins, also a good price, 8-1. Would I be taking that? I'm not so sure. So I landed on a horse who is trained by Anthony Honeyball, and who won his last race. A big handicap, by the way, and looked like he has got lots of ability. I was a good horse over hurdles, and that's Dartmoor Pirate at 14-1. I think he's at 14-1. I think as an anti-post bet, he's a good shout. Will he get 3 miles and 5 furlongs? I don't know, but I'd be willing to take a chance on a trainer who's doing incredibly well this season, and a horse who looks like he's got lots of ability and looks like he could be a bit of a stayer in what is a very much a staying race. So Dartmoor Pirate at 14-1 would be my pick in this race. And the other one I like at a much bigger price, and we're going down to about 25-1 now. He might not turn up, but I've been a fan of this horse since watching him win a very novice hurdle at Chepstow over 2 miles and 4 furlongs a couple of years ago. And he's owned by Mr. Ferguson and co, Mason Ferguson and the late John Hells. And that is Isaac de Obo at 25-1, trained by Paul Nicholls. He's a big price, but I think he's a horse with a lot of ability, and he's definitely wants a trip. So I'd be willing to take a chance on a Nicholls horse, even though Nicholls horse he's still been getting winners this season, but you would be concerned at the moment about the form of the yard. But I'm willing to take a chance on the fact that he's not really got going this season yet, and I think there could be something to come from Mr. Nicholls. So my 2 picks for the final race, 5:20 p.m. on Tuesday, the 10th of March, 2026, are 2 English horses. Dartmoor Pirate, trained by Anthony Honeyball, 14-1. And Paul Nicholls is Isaac de Obo at 25-1. Best of luck. I need to get a drink. I need to lie down. This is the first of a 4-part series. We're covering every single race at Cheltenham. I'm going to bring every single race up on screen. I'm going to bring the most latest odds on screen as well. And we're going to go through every single one. And yeah, I've completed Tuesday, the 10th of March. Completed Champions Day. I am going. I will be there with my brother and my dad. My dad will be in a box somewhere, drinking Guinness, smashed off his face. Me and Liam will be prancing around the Tattersalls enclosure, either crying or dancing around with money, because all these anti-post tips have come in that I've brought up. But yeah, what I will do is I will have a bet, a small £1 each way on all of these, unless they're a solid favourite. Then I'll just probably put a fiver on them or something like that, anti-post, and we'll see how we do. We will see how we do, and we'll come back in a few weeks' time. I probably would have lost the house by then, but we'll see how we do, and we'll do the same for every single race. But yeah, it's been a pleasure to record this. It's going to take me a while to edit it. My mouth is very dry. It's actually very warm today. It's warming up. It feels like spring has sprung. But yes, best of luck with Cheltenham. If you're having a bet, please do gamble responsibly. Make sure you drink lots of Guinness. Make sure you get your iron and vitamin D in you, because we are lacking both at the moment, especially vitamin D, even though the sun's finally come out today. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for watching, and I'll get the next one out over the next coming days, and we'll have all 4 videos done a week or so prior before Cheltenham kicks off, and we'll see how we go. Take it steady. I love you all very much. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been a bit different. It's different to me opening stickers. But please do gamble responsibly. Please keep going. Please do not come and hunt for me if you've picked all the ones I've picked and all of them are lost. I will not be taking responsibility for that, because I'm just an idiot in a gaff talking shite on YouTube. So do not listen to me. But if you do listen to me, and I do get you a few winners, maybe just buy me a drink or something. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I love you all very much. Good night.